All right, good morning. This is case number. Council, could I have appearances, please?
Kristen Jacobs on behalf of the petitioner Nirav Dhruv, who is present.
Laura Fuller on behalf of Andrea Vicente Dhruv, who is not present.
And James Dunn representing the Rowan Family Trust.
Okay, we set this hearing really as just a check-in in preparation for an evidentiary hearing that we've set for, I believe, the 24th this month. Is that right?
Correct.
The party's ready to proceed on that?
Yes.
We are not. We set a deposition on January 28th for the prior trustee and the respondent's sister, and we had emailed her notice of that on the 6th. We also sent it out to a process server in California because that's where she resides. Had it registered there, although that took some time due to COVID. They tried 5 attempts before they finally were able to serve her. And then I received, I believe the day before on January 27th from Mr. Dunn, an unsigned objection from an attorney in California who I've now reached out to. But she didn't appear at her deposition. The attorney's not responding to my request to cooperate in scheduling that. So I think I need an order to show cause to get her cooperation, and asking that we continue that evidentiary hearing until I can take that deposition.
I gather that would be proceeding in California?
It's virtually, so yes, she can appear in California.
No, I meant the order to show cause. You've domesticated you've opened a miscellaneous action in California to compel the deposition. Is that right?
I have not yet. All I had to do was register the subpoena there. And so that's all that's happened so far. But likely I'll have to proceed in California on that.
Okay. How long you need for that?
I think I need at least 2 months, just because what happened with getting everything registered there was you had to make an appointment with the courthouse because of COVID. And so I don't know how long that's going to take.
Okay. Mr. Dunn?
Your Honor, I don't represent the former trustee. I received a copy of the objection that he made. I don't know where that got filed because I don't think it shows up in the court's file here. And when I received it, I sent a copy on to both of the other counsel representing the divorcing parties, asking them if they had received it. And apparently they had not. I guess they got it through me because he sent it to me for whatever reason. I don't know. I can probably, I'd hate to see this thing go out 2 months, and I don't know if I can prevail upon them to make themselves available for the deposition because I don't have any power or control over this person. But
Yeah,
let's assume for purposes of
Go ahead, Mr. Dunn. Sorry.
Let's assume for purposes of argument that I can't get her to voluntarily appear. Then where are we?
Well, I think counsel has indicated that she's going to seek to compel appearance, and a reasonable amount of time for that seems appropriate. Let's do this. We've got the 24th set already in this case. Let's just regard that as a status conference, and we'll see where we are with that. At that point, I think then we can maybe avoid having to set it out 2 months if we're able to get this deposition more quickly. I
would be willing to try and contact counsel in California to see if we can't expedite this and get the thing resolved. Kristen, I don't want to just say counsel because there's 2 other lawyers on the line. Kristen, how much time do you think the deposition is going to take?
I think maybe a couple of hours.
Okay, I know because Andrea Vicente has told me her sister is a doctor and apparently just had a baby. And so I don't know what her schedule is because she sees patients every single day. But let me get a hold of counsel in California, see if we can't expedite that, and I can't bring some pressure to bear because, you know, our interest is the same as getting some decision on what this lis pendens means. I guess what we ought to do, Your Honor, though, is talk about maybe some other issues. So the status, the February 24th matter will be a status conference only.
That's what I'm thinking.
How much, Kristen, if we can get her to agree to a deposition at some quicker time and preserve the 24th date, how much time do you need to prepare after her deposition? Knowing that we're only 20 days out.
Well, we've got that, and then I'll also need the transcripts back. So that's the other concern, is that I won't have the information back from the person taking the court reporter, or the person taking the deposition. So
Well, that makes sense too.
I think what you're asking is, can we then set another evidentiary hearing, or how long? I think by the end of March I could do that again, assuming I get the depositions from everyone.
I don't mind doing that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do that then. I will try and prevail upon counsel in California to make forget her name, Romina available, and the sooner the better. And then maybe when we have our scheduling conference on the 24th, we can schedule another evidentiary hearing date.
We could reserve a date if you like now. What does the 29th of March look like?
I just don't want to see it get bumped again is the thing. I don't know what it's going to take to get us where we want to be with that deposition. My March 29th is available. I could do an evidentiary hearing on that day.
Ms. Jacobs?
I am available, so I think it's either we have the status conference on the 24th and schedule it, or just reserve that date now. And I think it's up to Your Honor what your preference would be.
Let's do
calendar.
Let's do what I think makes sense. Let me see if I can get a hold of counsel and expedite this deposition situation, so you don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get there. And then maybe we'll know when the deposition will be, because he'll give me some alternate dates. And then on the 24th, we'll know what day you're going to depose her, and then we can set a evidentiary hearing date.
That's fine with me. I mean, from 24th, I'm looking, March and April are wide open right now. They'll fill up a little bit before the 24th, but not that much. So I don't think it'll change things much. So.
Well, I don't think we care about I don't care personally about the delay, as long as that mortgage payment continues to be made.
Sure. Okay.
So, yeah.
Why don't we just set this for the 24th, plan on talking then about setting a date and maybe days for pretrial disclosures, if we're able to do it at that point. So
will it be
Your Honor, here's
9
some things
o'clock?
that
9 o'clock on the 24th, yes.
Okay, thank you.
scheduling conference only.
Yep.
Your Honor, there are a couple of things that we'll want to talk about at that. How we get exhibits in your hands in advance and to the other attorneys. The other question is the lis pendens statute puts the burden of proof on Nirav Dhruv to establish that his lis pendens is valid. So I just want to make sure that nobody gets swiped with the idea that Nirav goes first because he has a burden of proof, or I go first. I just need to know in what order the court will do that. And then I think I probably want to prepare maybe a little, like a trial brief, just some short 5-6 pages, something that says, here's why we think we win. So.
That sounds good. Why don't we give everybody a chance to think about that, and let's talk about order of proof, briefing, and disclosures on the 24th.
Yeah. The other issue that comes to mind, assuming regardless of what happens on our evidentiary hearing for the lis pendens, it doesn't dispose of Mr. Drew's claims on the merits. It might get rid of his lis pendens, but he still has this unjust enrichment claim and all these other claims and quiet title, whatever it is. We may have to do a summary judgment after one party or the other after the evidentiary hearing on the lis pendens. So
We can take that in stride.
that'll be something to discuss on the 24th.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I guess good luck on scheduling the deposition. We'll talk on the 24th then at 9 o'clock.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And meanwhile, I'll try and get a hold of California Council.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.